my brother, my girlfriend, my father. I'm going to play the guitar a little bit for y'all. Not very good. Not very good. I do not have much talent. Hello indeed, Sir Paul McCartney. As you can see, I play the guitar pretty poorly myself, but Paul McCartney is a very talented guitarist. I am one of the biggest Beatles fans you'll probably ever meet. I own all of their albums and have heard all their songs many of times. I even own a Beatles trivia game, so I would like to think I'm qualified to introduce Paul McCartney. I've also done extensive research on his life as a whole, so I dare say that everybody is familiar with at least one of Paul McCartney's plethora of songs. However, I would like to get in more to the man he actually was. Today we will gain new insight on Paul McCartney by looking at his life before stardom, being on the top of the world as a member of the Beatles, and looking at him after he accomplished everything that he did. According to IMDb, Paul McCartney was born in Liverpool, England, to Mary and James McCartney on June 18, 1942. His mother was a maternity nurse, and his father was a cotton salesman, also being a jazz pianist on the side. So, Paul McCartney was raised in a traditional working-class family. He did not have a lot of luxuries. Tragically, when McCartney was only 14 years old, his mother died of complications from a mastectomy. His future bandmate John Lennon also lost his mother at a young age, so they really held that bond with each other, and it helped them, the bond that they had really blossom. Paul McCartney played many instruments as a child. His father recommended that he try to learn everything that he possibly could, so he did take formal lessons. However, he preferred to learn just by ear, which I find quite impressive. And as a kid, he taught himself how to play the Spanish guitar, trumpet, and piano. According to the Bio Channel in 1957, the teenage musician met John Lennon at a church festival where both young men were performing. Sensing an early affinity, McCartney joined Lennon's band, the Quarrymen, where they both became the lead songwriters for the band. They went through many different name changes and personnel changes, eventually falling upon one, which would go on to be one of the most famous band names of all time, and that is the Beatles. The Beatles are the best-selling band in history, with EMI Records estimating sales of over 1 billion units. They have had more #1 albums on the British charts and sold more singles in the UK than any other act. According to the IRAA, as of 2012, they have sold 177 million units in the US, more than any other artist. In 2008, they topped Billboard magazine's Hot 100 Artists of All Time. They also hold the record for most #1 hits on the Hot 100 chart with 20. And then, as you can see, the Beatles have been covered more than any band in history, with such bands as Queen and the Rolling Stones and even Bob Dylan and Michael Jackson. They top them all. But I could go on and on about the Beatles' accomplishments, but I think everyone's rather familiar with them. I will move on to Paul McCartney's life after the Beatles. The former Beatles' interest extended far beyond music, even though he had quite a successful solo career. He's made successful forays into film, writing, meditation, painting, and activism. He is a generous man who has helped a lot of people. His success with the Beatles gave him a lot of money and a lot of opportunity to do good in this world. CNN reported on Queen Elizabeth knighting him in 1997. It was a grand ceremony, and he is now can be referred to as Sir Paul McCartney. In April 1998, Linda McCartney, his beloved wife of almost 30 years, mother of their 4 children, and his steady partner in music, died of breast cancer. McCartney suffered from a severe depression and underwent medical treatment. He spent much of the next year out of the public eye and just really focused on campaigning for animal rights and vegetarian causes in memory of his wife. Sir Paul McCartney was successful in almost everything he attempted. He is quite the remarkable man. He came from humble beginnings as a child with not much in England to go on to be a part of the most famous group of all time and being in the center of Beatlemania. And even after all that, did not let any of it get to his head. He was still a humble man who has really given so much back to this world. I would like to leave you with some of his wise words that I will hope maybe help you to make an impact on this world like he has. Think globally and act locally. Thank you.